Hey, my name is Ben. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk about powering your fish house using solar, which is actually really fun. If you're like me, I actually enjoy the technology and the process behind setting up a fishing spot a little more than the actual fishing. But other people that I hang out with do like to fish, so it's kind of a good situation. It's symbiotic relationship. Now, I'm planning an upcoming series of videos that are going to be completely different from what I've been doing recently. Mostly, my videos are pretty tied to one location. This is going to be outside of what we normally do. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be exciting. I want to do some electrical videos on foreign electrical systems. So the sun is getting pretty low in the sky right now. I want to throw some solar panels out here. I actually already have one solar panel up on the roof right now, but I've got a couple portable solar panels I'm going to throw out here on the ice. And with the high reflectivity of the ice, I think we probably are still going to get some pretty decent input. So let me go grab those and we'll set them up. Okay, so here in the fish house, the way that the power is set up is you can put lead acid batteries down there. Now, we're not going to operate with lead acid. We're going to use the Home Power 3600. And I'm just going to plug it in up here on the counter. This goes to our DC converter underneath down here, which could also charge our lead acid batteries. So if we wanted to, we could keep the lead acid system and use it in conjunction with this. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and set it up so that the power is all coming from our power station, which we need to grab from the car right now. So 3600, 3,584 watt hours.
Oh,
so it is basically 3.6 kilowatt hours. Very close to it. As soon as we hit this AC button here, we should get
the furnace might turn on.
Yep. There it
Oh,
goes.
heat.
The heat's coming on.
Over here.
Lights are all on. So we're ready to go. Now the challenge is going to be getting it set up so that the power from here can feed through to all of our 120 volt outlets. Like right there. And in order to do that, we're actually going to have to rewire the way the electrical system works in here a little bit.
Are there minnows?
I don't think there are living minnows.
Okay, well, we can buy some minnows and bring them.
That might be a good idea. Now, Jackery is known for not putting MC4 connectors on their solar input by default. So you need to buy an adapter from the DC8020 to MC4 if you want to use your own solar panel. Now, Jackery makes some great solar panels on their own, and I'll show you one of those in a little bit. But we have a rigid solar panel up on top of the fish house here, and I want to go ahead and get that connected to the Home Power 3600. So we've got our MC4 connectors to our adapter connected here. We should have about 40-ish volts, maybe 45 volts coming from that solar panel right now. And then on the other side, we've got two different adapters here. There's the DC7909, I believe is what this is, and that has a smaller pin inside of it. And then the 8020 is right here. So we actually have to leave this on here. And then we can go ahead and connect it to the Home Power 3600. Let's see what we get for input. And right there you can see we got about 63 watts coming in, so not a whole lot, but it's not too bad given that the panel is on the roof of the fish house, and you can see the angle of the sun is pretty low right now. How's it going?
I go see a haunted beast over there with the fish house.
Really?
It's closer to the land though.
All right, we're going to compare the solar output of these two. And then Ole's got this one here. That's really well positioned. And we've got the light coming, reflecting off of the ice back up onto the panel. Okay. So we're bringing in 90 watts with the one that's laying down. That's still really good. Let's try the one that Ole is standing up there. 140. Now we have to anchor them down a little bit because currently they could blow away. So we're going to use these spikes that they include and see if we can tap them into the ice just a little bit. Alright, this should be a pretty good setup. This is pretty much facing south, so sun should rise over there and eventually make its way right down over there. Now we did go ahead and put in our corner anchors, and Ole just dumped a little bit of water on each one, so those should freeze in nicely. But that should keep them from blowing away. What do you think?
That's get old, probably. And I mean, so it's kind of fun to do a high-speed solar panel chase.
I think they'd get destroyed if we did end up doing that. We're waiting for Johan to show up. My little brother Johan just got a truck and a fish house. So we'll go check it out in a little while when they get here. Now I did go ahead and recharge the battery that was here so that we could drain the Jackery down a little bit. So we're down to 56%. And we're just about done producing solar for the day, it looks like. And we'll get some water boiling over here, in addition to our coffee going over there.
And the battery.
But we have up to 3,600 watts to work with, so we've got plenty of margin to be able to handle all those loads just fine. But like I mentioned earlier, I want to get it so that this can power the whole fish house directly through our existing 120 volt lines. But currently, our power comes in from the outside. So we got to change up how that works and basically make it so that we have our inlet plug on the inside instead of on the outside. These things are great to have around if you do have a winter storm where you lose power for a period of time. You'll be amazed at how convenient it is to have a power station like this, because you can just turn it on and power the things that you need to. Most specifically for me, my gas furnace is probably the thing that I would power first and foremost. Now I will link to the Solar Saga 500 panels in addition to the Home Power 3600 Plus, and you can check those prices. Normally, wires like this would have to be in a junction box. However, I'm not sure if the National Electrical Code applies to fish houses or not. So apparently they didn't think so, whoever wired this originally. There we go. This is tired enough that probably not going to reuse that anyway, so we'll just get rid of that. So now we can just put our hots, neutrals, and grounds in here. I'm sure we're supposed to probably have pigtails and not have two conductors going into each terminal spot. However, as I just mentioned, I don't think it probably matters for what we're doing today. Oh, you know what? It's not quite there. So I'm gonna have to grab my tin snip and just ever so slightly snip this opening a tiny bit bigger. All right, so we're converted from a power inlet to a power outlet, so that we don't end up with live prongs when we power our AC system from the inside. Here's our fishing buddies. Hi guys.
Hi.
Oh, it's cold out. So I'm gonna put another inlet, hopefully on this exact same height, right over this way a little bit. So I gotta do some probing from the inside and see where we're gonna do that. So ultimately I want to have this battery, or whatever battery system I'm using, underneath this cabinet right here. So right here, where we currently have a power outlet, we're going to convert that to being a power inlet, now that we've switched the inlet on the outside to an outlet. Now you could use a suicide cord in this situation, but you really want to avoid having hazardous systems. If you look right here, this is a device that should allow us to convert this receptacle into a power inlet. So this is, when we open this up, you'll see, oh, it's interesting how they've got it, you know, in the proper way. So that's what we're going to be using. Hopefully this will install on there just fine. Okay, there's not a lot of extra wire here, it doesn't look like. And they're using the receptacle to feed through from to another receptacle probably. So it'd be nice to actually get some pigtails in here. Otherwise we'll have to make all of our connections clamp in these same holes on here, which I don't really want to do. But we need to get some holes drilled, otherwise we will be mocked as fishermen across the lake here from our buddies. So we'll pop our covers and get some holes drilled here quick. That's actually way thicker than it seems like it would be.
The whole length up to like here.
Crazy. Can you pop through the whole thing? What is it? Go ahead and unplug it and hit.
I was just curious what you were thinking in terms of later with supper and all. Like, are you gonna come home or are you guys gonna just eat MRAs out there?
Alright, my brother made it with his new fish house. We're gonna go check it out. How good that weld is. Here's Johan's new fish house.
How good that weld is.
Dude,
Whoa,
no,
is that stainless steel?
No, it's literally my dad.
Hey, shut up.
Johan, take this off.
So the new pickup truck. Hey, can we look inside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johan, can you take it off, please?
You need a light?
I got one.
You got a light?
Oh, it's cozy. Wow.
Isn't that nice?
It's got whoa, look at this little countertop.
Whoa! Dad, look at it. It's got a lot of holes.
Wow.
It's maybe not much compared to yours,
But it's
I
sweet.
like it.
It's pretty
but
nice.
it's cheap.
Dad, it has
$750, right?
Yeah, and it came with the auger.
That's amazing. The ice is still super thick.
Super cool, too.
Well, since we're out on the ice, this is actually how I'm wiring it with the wires going into the back of this inlet box. But under normal circumstances, this would be pigtailed together with pigtails coming out attaching to this device here. Well, I don't think this is actually going to be what I end up leaving in here. This cover, the holes don't line up with the type of box that's behind it. The reason I went for this initially was that, hey, this is going to be really just like clean looking, nice installation. However, it doesn't mount to the box like I thought it was going to. And a simple drop cord would do the same trick. So I'm going to look at some more options for what we could do. Or maybe I'll just use the inlet box temporarily loose like that until we get a proper solution. Alright, so we've got everything powered now through the actual outlets of the fish house from the power station, which is pretty nice. So we can do some good quality home cooking. Delicious. So Oli and I were going to spend the night out here in the fish house, and we're having MREs. And we've got the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics going too.
I'm gonna wish Mom would quit fighting. I'm gonna wish that I didn't have to take a bath every night.
Alright, we made it to the next day, but we got more of an overcast situation going on. But even so, we're still bringing in a decent amount. This is just from the two Solar Saga 500s. Let's just check out the power coming in. 160 watts. So not bad. We've gained like 2% since we've been here earlier. So that would definitely get us topped off, especially if we were gone for a day or two in between, to get this powered back up to 100%. So it'd be good to continue our winter fishing expeditions. But I think for now we're going to actually break down camp because we have a bunch of warm weather coming in the next day or two. So we need to get off the ice. We're going to see how easy or hard it is to get these picks out of here. I know that it's good that we had them. I'm thinking should be able to just kind of tap them down enough. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Not bad at all.
Into the warm, cozy fish house.
Alright, something's just happening right here. There was totally a fish on there a second ago. Oh, man, it's still there. Now with our single 400 watt rigid panel that's on the roof, we're actually pulling in 152 watts. So actually really pretty decent for that. So I think long term I want to have a couple permanent rigid panels mounted to the fish house. But the Solar Sagas are great to just increase that capacity a little bit. Alright, we finally got one. So it was not without whatever you call it.
Fail.
We didn't fail completely, but So it must have been a perch that was messing with us that whole time. Kept yanking on it a few times over and over. So we'll definitely want to keep. I think I can take it. I should use my. Here, can you hold this? The Knipex.
Oh, se olha o fishy. Look at where it pulled out.
Let's see the hook. There we go.
Aw. Cute little guy.
You want to keep him in flame? No?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe actually. Yeah, actually, think about filleted fish for breakfast.
Fight is starting. We've actually gotten a lot of hits, you know? All right, thanks so much for watching, you guys, and we'll talk to you in the next one. See ya.